from your local news leader. This is KQ2 News at 10.
Hi, thank you for joining us tonight. We first brought to you the story of excuse me there for a moment. Jade Steffens joins us now on the meteorologist Jade Steffens joins us now on the Weather Center. I think it was a very sunny day today, and it was also very windy today. So what kind of conditions can people expect through the rest of the Memorial Day weekend?
Yes, Jackie, absolutely. It was a beautiful start to the weekend today. Temperatures in the 80s, lots of sunshine, and it looks like that those warm temperatures will continue as we head throughout the rest of your weekend. Here's a live look outside right now. 76 degrees out there, and it's a bit breezy as well with winds from the south-southeast at 14 miles per hour. Taking a look at the radar, it looks like we have partly cloudy skies out there right now, and it'll continue to stay that way through the rest of the night, and we're going to see sunny skies again for your Sunday. And it's a little bit warmer out there tonight than it was last night, about 9 degrees warmer in St. Joseph and warmer overall across the Midwest for tonight. And here's a check of your evening planner. Lows will be in the upper 60s throughout the rest of the night, and as we head into tomorrow, looks like a beautiful night ahead of us. And here's a check of the highs that we saw today across the area. 79 for the high in Bethany, 82 for the high in Chillicothe, and 87 for the high in Falls City. And a quick check of wind gusts in the area right now. Wind gusts out of the south, 25 miles per hour in Bethany, 26 miles per hour in Trenton, and 22 miles per hour out of the south in Atchison. And here's a check of temperatures in the area right now. 77 in Rockport, 75 in Bethany, and 75 in Chillicothe. And I'll have more on your forecast coming up. Jackie?
Thank you, Jade. President Biden and the First Lady will travel to Uvalde, Texas tomorrow, where they will meet with the families of the victims of Tuesday's massacre at Robb Elementary School. Here's ABC's Zoreen Shah with the latest.
Law enforcement in Texas with a stunning acknowledgement on Friday, saying police should have acted sooner to breach the classroom with the gunman.
Of course it was not the right decision. It was the wrong decision, period.
Authorities now revealing that a teacher propped open a school door at 11:27 a.m., which the shooter used to enter the building. At 11:33, the shooter entered classrooms 111 and 112. By 11:35, 7 Uvalde police officers are inside the school but do not enter the classroom, wrongly believing it's no longer an active shooter situation but a barricaded subject. At 12:03, there were 19 officers in the hallway as a string of desperate 911 calls start coming in from the 2 classrooms. It wasn't until 12:50 when authorities used a key to enter a classroom, killing the shooter.
It was a cascade of errors. Even before the gunfire, a door was propped open, an officer drove right past the suspect, and then the worst, the delay in sending officers in.
After initially praising law enforcement, Governor Abbott saying he was misled.
There are people who deserve answers the most, and those are the families whose lives have been destroyed. They need answers that are accurate.
Felix Rubio, an off-duty Uvalde sheriff's deputy, responded to the scene. His daughter, one of the children killed by the gunman.
I see where everybody's posted at, in front of my baby girl's door. Once I see them open the door and open fire, my heart dropped.
The Uvalde School District hosted active shooter training for its 6-member police force 2 months ago. The training makes clear the first priority is to move in and confront the attacker.
It's absolutely insane that any police would delay entering when an active shooter is in a school with children.
Zoreen Shah, ABC News, Los Angeles.
President Biden and the First Lady will travel to Uvalde, Texas, and the attorney says she will decide on any possible charges once the investigation into the shooting and law enforcement's conduct is complete. Netflix has added a warning at the beginning of Stranger Things 4 after Tuesday's mass shooting in Uvalde, Texas. The popular streaming series debuted its 4th season Friday after a 3-year absence due to the pandemic. Netflix says it realizes the timing of the release of the first episode could be troubling for some. The opening scene of the new season shows Millie Bobby Brown's character, 11, and several children covered in blood. Producers say they filmed the episode more than a year ago and are concerned that the disturbing images may catch some viewers by surprise. The warning tells the audience that the episode contains graphic violence involving children and disturbing images. And next, we have the number of sudden and mysterious hepatitis cases in children has gone up to at least 650 worldwide. That's according to the World Health Organization Friday. About a third of the cases are in the UK and 216 have been reported in the US. Around 70% of the patients are under 5 and had been healthy before the illness. Common viruses known to cause hepatitis have been ruled out. Researchers are also looking into environmental exposures, toxins, and perhaps co-infections with another virus. New COVID-19 cases and deaths continue to decline around most of the world, except the Americas and Western Pacific. COVID-19 cases in the Americas and the Western Pacific region actually rose. That's according to the World Health Organization's weekly report released Wednesday. WHO reports that the number of new weekly cases in other regions has continued falling globally since peaking in January. 3.7 million new cases were reported in the last week, and 9,000 deaths, with the U.S. reporting the highest number of both. Still ahead, New Zealand and California have created a partnership to fight climate change together. We'll learn the details after the break.
Beautiful start to the weekend today, but what can we expect for the rest of your weekend? Of all the details coming up. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
New Zealand and California have created a partnership to fight climate change together. It came during a meeting between Governor Gavin Newsom and New Zealand's Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern in San Francisco on Friday. They signed a memorandum of cooperation to establish the partnership. Governor Newsom said the relationship will accelerate efforts to fight climate change and allow them to learn from one another. IKEA is adding a surprising new product line in select California stores, solar panels. The new line of solar products will enable IKEA customers to generate and store their own renewable energy from the sun. Called Home Solar, the panels will be made available to members of IKEA's customer loyalty program this fall. Well, it definitely was a windy one and a warm one outside today, but I think for the Memorial Day weekend, that's pretty fitting for most people. People want nice weather being outside. So what can we look forward to for tomorrow and into Monday?
Yeah, absolutely, Jackie. We had great weather to start off the weekend, especially because we had all of that rain last week, lots of sunshine for today, and it looks like that's going to continue for the rest of the weekend. So perfect, warm, and sunny weather just in time for this weekend.
And so for the rest of this week or this upcoming week, would we probably see just more sunshine, or will we dip down a little bit into some cloudiness?
It looks like we'll have sunshine through the weekend, but next week we might see some rain. But all that sunshine is packed into this weekend, so great weather overall for your Memorial Day weekend. And here's a check of that almanac today for St. Joseph. We had a high of 86, low of 58, which is a little bit warmer than we normally see this time in May, with a normal high and low of 80 and 59. Taking a look at your records for today, back in 2018, we had a record high of 97 degrees, and in 1947, a record low of 37. Here's a look outside for right now. We're cooling down a little bit, but not too much out there. 75 for your temperature, and a bit breezy with wind from the southeast, 15 miles per hour. And as we head throughout the rest of your night, it looks like we will see some partly cloudy skies move through. It'll stay pretty windy as well out there, with lows in the upper 60s for your overnight low tonight. And here's a look at that forecast for tonight. 68 for our low with partly cloudy skies, a bit breezy out there, and heading into your Sunday, 98 degrees for your high. There's a slight chance for some rain before 8 o'clock, but the rest of the day looks beautiful with lots of sunshine and very breezy out there. And it looks like those rain chances return as we head into next week. So like I was saying, that sunshine is all fit in perfectly for the weekend. And as we head into next week, that's when we'll see that rain come back.
Well, excited for some nice weather. Thank you, Jade. Earlier today, hundreds of protesters gathered in front of the National Rifle Association's annual meeting at Houston's Convention Center. We hear from both sides of the debate after the break.
Ooh, that was fast. I've never seen it go that fast for weather. That was, yeah, I don't know. That was a little different. Can you hear him?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so put it before final weather. Yeah, okay, that's where it's at now.
I am so sorry, Jade.
It's okay.
Where do I go to next, though? Because Hundreds of protesters gathered in front of the National Rifle Association's annual meeting at Houston's Convention Center today. Reporter Rochelle Turner has the story.
Thoughts and prayers in front of Discovery Green. Demonstrators held signs like this and made their voices heard. Well, the police did nothing. It's the second day of the NRA meeting. The George R. Brown Convention Center, and people like Tiffany Williams say something needs to change. How many kids did you kill today? When it comes to gun laws.
We just had a shooting in Uvalde that claimed the lives of 19 children and 2 adults. Those were teachers. One was a grandmother. And guess what? We can put the assault rifles into ages 18 and up, but you can't drink an alcoholic drink till you're 21.
NRA members like Scott say guns are not the problem, people are. He says local entities fail to protect the kids in the school.
Crime is crime. You know, if they're going to commit a murder, they're going to commit a murder with anything they can get their hands on. So I think the true thing really comes down to is it's not the weapon it is, but the intent and the person, and how society we handle that from the mental health aspect, early intervention.
At today's demonstration, police kept a group called South Texas Proud Boys away from the crowd. Many frustrated about another mass shooting that's now left the Uvalde community heartbroken and hoping for change.
Pray for a change of heart, but we need to also pray for a change of legislation.
It's a terrible tragedy, but it was the person behind that gun that did it.
And we first brought to you the story of a sailor from Mound City who would be finally laid to rest after 80 years. Tonight, we have the rest of that story. On the Saturday before Memorial Day, a U.S. Navy sailor who died in the Pearl Harbor attack was honored in a memorial service and military ceremony at a cemetery back in his hometown of Mound City.
I mean, it's been 80 years in the making.
His name is Seaman First Class Wilbur Francis Newton.
My soul's at rest because Wilbur's resting here now in Mound City where he belongs and with his parents.
Perkins is a second cousin to Newton. She and many other family members gathered with friends, community members, and active and retired military servicemen at United Methodist Church to recognize his life and devoted service to his country.
I think that it brings closure to him, and it brings closure to the community. It wasn't a lot of mourning. The community here came together and gave them something to work on too, and it's very, very special.
His remains were identified. On Tuesday, they arrived at the Kansas City International Airport to later be taken up to Mound City. Deeds is also a second cousin to Newton. He explains how this feels like a story in the making.
This was 80 years ago. If Wilbur was alive today, he'd be 109 years old.
Perkins and Deeds both say there was such a mixture of emotions among them and other family members.
I'm almost speechless. I mean, it's just been an amazing experience.
Kind of a feeling of connection. It was just overwhelming, humbling, and it's sad, bittersweet.
Newton's remains will be put in a family plot next to his parents and siblings at Mount Hope Cemetery. His parents hoped he would make it back home someday to rest in peace with them.
Sometimes things happen and people call it consequences. There's been too many of those for this just to be a consequence. I call it the hand of God. I don't know why it took so long. I don't have the capacity to understand that right now, but I do believe God's timing is perfect.
And something Deeds wants to emphasize.
We're telling Wilbur thank you today, but other veterans out there, we need to thank them too.
The family also got a stone from the U.S. Navy made that will be placed by Newton's headstone as well.